It looks like no one's gonna get anything done around here. We ain't got no power. Lucky I'm on the road. What's going on, everybody, and welcome. We're actually headed to Tampa right now to, as the title shows, put in an automatic trim tab controller from Lenco. Anyway, before we get started, I want you to check out Salty Mechanics. He's another YouTuber. He does all the same thing basically I do, but in a different world. He's over in Norway. He always plugs my channel and I appreciate it, so check him out if you get a chance. Anyway, let's get to the boat. Well, we made it, and we got rain. No big deal. I looked at the radar. It's going to pass us. We're actually going out behind the house here. It's a 34 LX Tierra. It's 2022. I think it might have Mercury's on the back of it. But let's just cut right to get into the boat. Alright, here she is. The dual console Tierra. Lucky we got the roof on it there, so it's still raining a little bit. We won't get too wet. Yeah, this is a brand new one. It's got twin 300 Mercs on her. Nice. Let me go grab all the stuff and we'll jump on. Alright, so we have our tools. And here is the auto trim tab control system. Let's open this up. I also got these parts they sent me with in case I need them. I'm not even sure what this is. Probably the same thing in this box here. Let's look. There's our control pad. There's a control box. And our wire harness. Let's get our instructions. Let's see what we gotta do. This boat already has Lencos on it, so we should be able to just plug this stuff in, uncover our dash. Here we go. So we have Lencos here, and that's just the regular one. It's got the indicators on it. Our new one does it automatically, I think, if you push some buttons. I've actually never installed one of these completely, so we're gonna figure it out. Alright, so here's our wiring diagram. Looks like pretty simple here. Auto glide, we're gonna replace that. That is our keypad here. Just wire it to our control box here. We're gonna hook it to our NEMA system. Everything should be behind the dash to hook it up. And basically it just goes to power and to our tabs. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is let's pull this dash back here. On the Tierras, there's actually, the Pursuits have little knobs up here to pull the dash. This one has a little secret. Pull the little latch here, a little lever, and you can pull the dash forward. There we go. Well, hey, look at that. We got us an AC behind the dash. Alright, let's take a look. All of our fun components here. The Mercury stuff. Looks like right here is our tab controller. That's the pad itself. So we gotta disconnect all this. Figure out where it's ending up here so we can disconnect it. We gotta find a spot for our control box. This guy here actually has to be facing vertical for it to work correctly. Must have some kind of gyro or something in it. Looks like a good spot for it though, be right on the wall here. And then we can just run our wires right along here to where we need to go. So let's get that out of there first. So it looks like, following our wires here, we have to cut this zip tie down here. A couple more of them here. The gray wires, what we're after here. There she is. And that goes right to here. So here's our power and our two trim tab leads, because they're just power and ground for each one to go up or down. So let's unplug this. Pull our leads down through here. You want to go. There we go. We want to free this up because we got that big nut right there we want to take off. Alright, come on. There we go. Now these are hardwired. Looks like this is our ignition to our switch. So when you turn the key off, they automatically go up for you. And there's our power. So let me cut these real quick. Nope, almost cut 2 wires. There we go. Now we're free. Pull our nut off the bottom here. Should be able to yank her out of the dash. Alright, she's free. Here's our new one, and it only has a little pigtail. Completely different system. So let's put that in first. Should fit right in the hole. All Lenco stuff is pretty much compatible with each other, so you can just swap stuff out if you want to change stuff or upgrade it, like we're doing now. Alright, let's put our special nut on here. Make sure that she's straight on the dash. Close this real quick. We can take a look before I tighten it down. Alright, she's a little crooked. Let's turn it. Try to match it up with the components because nothing here is square on the dash. It's all round. Alright, that looks good. And now we should be able to tighten her down all the way. There we go. Now, let's get our wire harness here so we can plug stuff in and mock up where we're going to go with everything. Okay, so looking at our harness here, looks like we have plenty to make it around the dash like we need to. So let's put this here. We're going to mount this on the wall over here somewhere. We got all of our harness will end up going up through here. So let's connect to right here first. We'll run all of our wires through here. Looks like we just have basically the same connectors on the ends here. There's our can, that's going to be for our NEMA. There's a mess of wires here. So let me get all these where they're at. And I'll show you what I've done. We only have to go around to right here. So I need both my hands. I'm going to run it along here. Try to hide it with everything. And then we should have plenty, like I say, to mount our control box up here. Alright, so on this mess of wiring here, we're going to tie all that up nice, of course. We have our ends here, which go to our trim tabs in the back. I don't know which one's which. One good thing about Tierra, though, is they label all of their wiring. So there's 91. So I'm going to go in the back here, let's go in the hole, and we'll go down there and we'll look for the other end. That way we know if 91 is port or starboard. We can hook it up correctly. Let's venture down in our hole. Got our Fisher Panda down here. Get us a flashlight. There's our trim tab wire coming out of the hole there. It looks like, well, it looks right in front of me. Don't even need the flashlight with the door open. Right here, the white and black wire. So this one is 90, so our port side is 90. That's all we need to know. Alright, let me get out of the hole here. It's a little too hot in here. That's better. Alright, now we know 90 is our port side. We can hook that up correctly here. We also have our NEMA, which, lucky enough, they've given us a spare one right here. So we'll hook it right up and it's basically directly where we need to go. Makes it easy. So there we go. We're hooked up. The green is our starboard side. Number 90 is our port. There we go. We got our power hooked up. And here's our NEMA, which is snuffed down here. Obviously we'll tie all this up pretty. So let me go to the van. We got to get a few tools and some zip ties, I guess, here. We'll mount our box. Well, hi, Oscar. I'll get some stuff out of you. Alright, we're going to need some screws for our box there. This one, I want to bring our electrical connectors and stuff. Bring that with us. Drill bits. Go to the other side to get some hardware. There we go. This thing doesn't weigh very much, so shouldn't need nothing too special here. Nothing too crazy. Let's see what this looks like. Alright, that's too long. That's the right size screw. So it's the right size. But we want shorter ones. There we go. Well, we only need 4, but I always grab an extra one because I seem to always drop stuff. Alright, let's get back to the boat. Alright, so we're going to climb inside of our dash here. Looking at this, I'm just going to mark a couple holes. Should be good right here. There we go. Can't see them probably in the camera, but they're there and there. Alright, let's drill our first 2. I'll give you a little tip here. When you drill your hole. When you drill, don't just drill a hole and then put a screw in it. If you just stick a screw in it, it'll have a tendency to want to crack the fiberglass around the screw. So what I always do, they make special bits for this, but I just take my Phillips head and run it around, because then those threads won't hit that fiberglass or that gel coat and crack it. I always make it a little bit bigger on the opening. You'll have better luck without hurting the fiberglass or damaging the fiberglass when you go to install stuff. Oh, pardon the noise, the rain's back. So here's our box we got it installed. I gotta get a wrench for this here. Holy crap. Probably not a good idea to be out on the lift on the boat, but it is what it is. It looks like we basically have just enough room to make it. But I'm gonna have to run the wire, instead of going this way, we're gonna have to go down this way so we have a little bit more room. That takes up too much of it going through here. So let me rearrange that. We also got to reconnect our power ground and our auto retract, which I think is the purple here. So we're gonna have to cut that and redo it. Well, let me get those few things connected, get the wires tied up, and we'll see if it works. Well, I was wrong about something. Here's our control box. We got our wiring harness here. Follow the lead here so it can fold in the dash. Goes all the way to our connectors here. We got our connector here for our power. And these 2 wires actually are NEMA in and out. They don't go to anything because we got power supply from our main right here. So we don't need extra power for the dash. So let me cut these. We don't need them, we'll just leave them here in case they ever want to use them, but this thing's already hooked up to NEMA. Now the moment of truth. Let's put our dash back. Fit with no problems. Let's see if they work. Gonna go into our little bathroom here and push our buttons. Now let's turn our keys on. There we go. We only need 1 of them for it to work. Well, we got power. That's good. Now let's see how we gotta set it up here. So looking at our little reference guide here, I can't do any more. The boat has to go for a ride. And basically the customer needs to do this anyways, because it will set up your favorites, and it'll set up basically on the auto mode, the roll and pitch and everything for you. So he'll get to do all that, play with his new toys. Now before we call it a day here and I head back to the shop, let's turn the key off. Yep, auto retract mode is working correctly. And basically when you first turn it on, you get this little light bar that goes back and forth saying that it needs to be set up, so it knows what the roll is on the boat. I guess this little arrow here and here is what indicates what's going on with the boat. That's why that box, which is mounted basically behind here, has to be in that vertical position, because that's what's telling this where everything is at. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you got any questions, obviously hit me up in the comments. No big deal, I'll answer them if I can. We got a little break in the rain here, so I'm going to try to shuttle everything back into Oscar real quick. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching, and I will see you next time. Later. Oh, hey there, buddy. You drying off after the rain? Huh?